You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Glad you can join me on another podcast of All Things Sports with Mike Davis. I thank you for putting my podcast into your day or night or in the evening, whenever you decide to listen. If you're listening on Spotify, follow the podcast. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. Go to the Facebook page, get in contact with the show for comments or suggestions. I won't take up much more of your time. Let's get into it. So I wanted to talk about a particular guy this year who is having an outstanding NBA season. And he kind of got lost in the sauce. To me, he's gotten lost in the sauce. I haven't seen much talk about him really, and about what's going on this year. LaMelo Ball came on the scene, and he's kind of stole a lot of the thunder. You got Luka Doncic. And by the way, before I go in, I saw the top 10 guys who are under 25 years old, and Trae Young wasn't on that list. Look, I'm a Hawks fan, but I'm not being a homer when I say that list is BS. I don't know who came up with that list. I believe it was from ESPN. This is why ESPN sucks. And the list is garbage. But anyway, I digress. So, you've seen LaMelo Ball come on the scene, and he's been taking a lot of the thunder from some of the guys, the younger guys, that is, with the outstanding rookie season he was having until he broke his ankle. Sorry, not his ankle, but broke his wrist. And now he is out for the rest of the season. I wanted to talk about a guy who is doing work. And I shouldn't have to say this, but I feel I have to. And that is Zion Williamson. Where is Zion Williamson, you might ask? Well, Zion Williamson is down in New Orleans doing work. The man is being a man-child in the paint. Now, his rookie year, he suffered some injuries, didn't play a full season. A lot of people were worried about that with his, weight coming out of Duke. How would he handle an 82-game season? Now, this year, the schedule has been shortened, due to the pandemic. But still, and also, now, tonight, Zion put up 34 points in a loss to the Atlanta Hawks. And the previous 3 games, he ended up missing. But for the most part, he's played mostly, the season, he's played pretty much a decent amount of games this year. So Zion is averaging 32 minutes a game, 26 points, 7 boards, 3 assists, and he is shooting 62% from the field. I would take those numbers in a heartbeat if I was a head coach or a GM or an owner of a team. Those are very productive numbers. Now, like I said, the man is putting in work down in New Orleans, and not just in New Orleans, but particularly in the paint. He is averaging almost 20 points a game in the paint. He is averaging 19 points a game in the paint. Now, the closest to Williamson when it comes to that is Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks, your reigning MVP. He's averaging almost 17 a game in the paint, and that's followed by the Joker out in Denver, who's averaging 14 in the paint. Andre Drummond, now with the Lakers, averaging 14, and Clint Capella putting up 13 a game in the paint. That is saying something, that a man of his size being undersized, because look, I saw they have him listed at 6'8". Zion Williamson is not 6'8". He's 6'6", and that's not a knock on him, because the man is doing work. The man is averaging 20 points a game in the paint. Okay? And he's down there playing with the big guys. Now, his 19 points in the paint per game is the most points anyone has averaged in a single season in almost 2 decades. Now, since 2000, the only player who scored in the paint at a higher clip than what we're seeing from Zion Williamson this season is Shaquille O'Neal. Now, outside the paint, it's kind of a different story. All right, he's only taken 8 shots from mid-range this season and only 23 shots from three-point range this season. So he doesn't shoot outside the paint at all. He does not shoot outside the paint, And look, I'm going to be honest with you. When a guy's shooting at the clip that he's shooting at, 62% from the field, and he's putting up 26 points a game, I don't have any problems with that at all. The thing that I like about Zion is that, at 6'6", he's a mismatch for a lot of the guys he's going up against. He's too big, he's too strong for guards to check him, but then he's also too quick and he's too athletic, for most bigs. Now, the issue that I have with this is that no one sees him play. No one sees him because he plays in New Orleans. And I can't stand this with smaller market teams. And not to get off topic, but I feel like that's what goes on with a guy like Trae Young. And I shouldn't say Atlanta is a small market team because Atlanta is not a small market city. It just isn't. I honestly think when you talk about market, not talking about the team, but market, I think Atlanta should be listed up there with the LAs, the New Yorks, the Miamis, because that's pretty much it when you talk about the big markets. LA, Miami, New York, and then I think you have to put Atlanta and Houston right in there. Maybe Houston above Atlanta, but then Atlanta is right there. But a lot of people, they don't see Trae Young play because they like to consider Atlanta. I won't say they'll say it's a small market, but a mid-sized market. But people just don't watch the Hawks, period. So it's one of those, it is what it is. And Zion Williamson is experiencing this now, that no one is seeing him play because he plays for a 22-28 New Orleans Pelicans team. I've seen the Pelicans play twice this season. And the one game I didn't see them play, the one game I saw them play, Zion didn't play in it. Now, he was hurt in that game. But that's the problem, And I don't know what it's... Look, I think that the Pelicans are going in the right direction. They have the right coach in Stan Van Gundy, who is coaching the team. Brandon Ingram, he's averaging 23 points a game, 4 boards, 4 assists. Lonzo Ball should be up for like one of the most improved players this season. 14 points, 5 assists a game. But the problem with New Orleans is, and I always say this, you need a veteran on that team. They have the scores. I believe they're like 5th in the NBA in scoring. They have the scoring. They can score with anybody. But their defense, they are ranked in the bottom 5 when it comes to defense. They are one of the worst defensive teams in the league. And also another thing, the Pelicans, they've been hit with an injury bug. They can't keep that starting unit in. It's been bad. Steven Adams, he's been out with injury. Brandon Ingram, I believe he didn't play last night against Atlanta. And I could be wrong, but I believe he did not play. Again, I could be wrong. Lonzo Ball, he had been out since March. The team was trying to move him. So he hadn't played, from what I understand, since March. So, and Josh Hart also, their big guy, not big guy, but their productive guy coming off the bench, he's been out with an injury. So they've been hit with an injury bug, which is why their record is 22-28, and they've really been inconsistent. But I think they're on the right path. All they need, I think, is to get healthy, play better defense, They have the scoring. And I think that the Pelicans can be a threat. So, when that happens, if they turn to one of the upper echelon teams, maybe people will see Zion Williamson, more so in other big games. The league has tried to put the Pelicans, in the national spotlight. I have seen the Pelicans being advertised before playing in, big games on TV. But for the most part, no one checks for him because he plays for the New Orleans Pelicans, and it's a shame because Zion Williamson is out here doing work. Like, we haven't seen this since Shaq. It is what it is. Some people would say you don't compare him to Shaq, but we really haven't seen this type of a production since Shaquille O'Neal, and the guy is only 20 years old. He's going to get better, people. He's not in his prime. He's still learning. And he seems to be more, when I saw him, he seems to be more in tune with what the Pelicans are running. It seemed like his rookie year, he really didn't know where to go or what to do. It was just going to be get it down low to him and on a fast break, or, I'm going to catch an alley here. He seems lost at times on the floor. But this year, Zion, NBA, look out. Zion is that guy. My only complaint, though, I have one more complaint that bothers me. His shoes are disturbing. Not in the Lil Nas, what's his name? Lil Nas X. Not in that fashion. But I saw a picture of the new Jordans that he has coming out under the Jordan brand, and it's a no-go for me. Maybe that's what the younger generation, maybe that's what they enjoy now, they like. But the new shoe coming out with Zion under the Jordan umbrella is a no for me. So, yeah, people, watch Zion Williamson. The man's doing work. Appreciate it. Appreciate him now, early in his career. That way later on when you become a Zion fan, I don't have to call you a bandwagon guy. You wasn't talking about him years ago. All right, hey, look, no history in sports today. So, unfortunately, that's all I got for you today, folks. I thank you for including my podcast into your day. If you're listening on Spotify, follow the podcast. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. Go to the Facebook page and get in contact with the show for comments or suggestions. You've been listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis. And remember, it's your world. I'm just giving my opinion. I'm out. Peace.
You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.